Today I'm going to be showing you how to crochet this beautiful snowflake, and you'll need some worsted weight yarn, and I'm using a 5.0 millimeter hook. You can use whatever hook size is recommended on your yarn label, and we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, we're going to start with a slip knot. And then we're going to chain 4. Okay, and then we're going to, slip stitch back into that first chain to make a ring. And then we're going to chain 3. And this chain 3 will serve as our first double crochet, and we need 16 double crochets total in this ring. So this will be the first one, and then I'll go ahead and make 15 more. And I will meet you at the end of this round once I have a total of 16 double crochets. Okay, I've completed my 16 double crochets, including my first chain 3, and now I'm just going to slip stitch into the top of my chain 3 to connect this. Okay, and I'm going to chain 5. And what we would do usually is we would crochet into the tops of these double crochets, but instead of doing that, we're going to be working in between the stitches, and we're going to start by working in the stitch that's just to the right of our chain 3. So we're going to go here, and we're going to double crochet 1 into that space. And we have this, I'm going to call this a loop. And then we're going to skip this space and go into the second one over and double crochet there. And we're going to have this shape that looks like a triangle. So I'm going to call these loops and these triangles. And we're going to continue with this pattern, loop, triangle, all the way around. So to make our second loop, we will chain 2 and double crochet back into the same space. Okay, now we need to make a triangle. So we do that by skipping 1 space and double crocheting into this second space over. Okay, and then we'll make another loop by chaining 2 and double crocheting back into the same space. And then we'll skip over to here and double crochet to make a triangle, and we'll continue doing this around. So we'll chain 2, double crochet into that same space, and then we'll skip over, we'll skip this one and double crochet into here, and we'll just continue doing that until we make it around to the beginning. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I will meet you when I'm done. Okay, so I've made it around, and I ended on this loop, and I have 2 unworked double crochets here, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slip stitch into the top of this loop to connect. So this was my chain 5. I'm going to slip stitch into the second or third chain. To connect. And now you can see we have loop, triangle, loop all the way around. And I'm just going to be working into these loop spaces only. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by chaining 3, and this will serve as my first double crochet. I'm going to double crochet second time in this space, in this loop, and now I'm going to chain 2, and I'm going to double crochet twice again in this same loop. So 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets. So you see here I have 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets. And I'm going to continue working it like that all the way around, only working in these loops. So I'm not going to chain at all, I'm just going to double crochet right into this space. Once, twice, chain 2, double crochet twice more in that same space. And I'm going to continue around. I'll show you once more. Double crochet twice. I skipped over to my next loop. Double crochet 1, 2. Now I will chain 2 and double crochet twice more. And I'm just going to repeat that all the way around until I come back to this last loop from the previous round. And I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll meet you when I'm done. Okay, I've made it to the end of my 3rd round, and I'm just going to slip stitch right into the top of this chain 3. And now I need to slip stitch over into this loop, and you can see that they're starting to form the points of the snowflake. So I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch over once, twice. You may need to slip stitch 3 times to make it into this space. And I'm going to do the same thing that I did in the previous row, except for instead of doing 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets, I'm going to be doing 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. So for the first one, I'm going to chain 3, that'll be my first double crochet. And then I'll need 2 more. So 1, 2, 3 double crochets. Now I'm going to chain 2 and crochet 3 more double crochets in that same space. So it's just like the previous round, except for we're adding 1 more double crochet on each side of each point. So the exact same thing, but with 3, and we're still going to have the chain 2 to make the point. And I'll show you, I'm not going to chain at all in between, I just go right into the next point, double crochet once, twice. I need some more yarn, there we go. 3 times, chain twice, double crochet once, twice, 3 times. And I will continue to do that all the way around, and I'll meet you when I'm done. Alright, I've made it to the end of this round, and I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch into the top of this chain 3 from the previous round. And then, as before, I'm going to slip stitch until I make it into this point. 1, 2, 3. However many you need to make it into that point. And as before, I'm going to do the same thing that I did for the previous 2 rounds, except for I'm going to double crochet 4 into each side. So I'll chain 3, that'll serve as my first double crochet, and I'll do 3 more to make 4, 2, 3, and 4. And then, as before, I'll chain 2, and in the same space I will double crochet 4 more. So it's the same as the previous 2 rounds. We're just increasing from 3 double crochets on each side now to 4 double crochets on each side, with the same chain 2 in between to make the point. So continue working that all the way around, and I will meet you when I've finished my round. Okay, so I've made it to the end of my round. This is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th round, and it's the final round of the snowflake. And I'm just going to slip stitch into the top of this chain 3. And what I like to do when I fasten off is I just like to slip stitch over 1 and chain, pull that loose, pull this loop loose to pull this tight, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut this. And I have this beautiful snowflake. I have one here that I had already finished, that the ends are all woven in. And if you'd like to see how to make this into a granny square, I'll be filming a tutorial on that, and I will link it in the description box below. And thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you enjoyed crocheting with me. Bye!